Welcome back. It's 6:43 on this Friday morning. Lots happening in our nation's capital, and we have joining us this morning Senator Bill Cassidy, all the way from the nation's capital, to tell us everything that's happening and all the things that impact you right here in South Louisiana. So good morning to you. Always great to have you.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Doing pretty good. So obviously you are a busy man there in Washington, D.C. Lots happening, but you're here home, and one of the biggest headlines I think that we've been talking about lately is the National Flood Insurance Program and the status of that here for folks here in Louisiana. Kind of update us on that.
Yeah, making tremendous progress. Our goal is that we would have a program which is sustainable, affordable, and accountable. So right now, or this past week, Senator Bob Menendez, a Democrat from New Jersey, and Bill Cassidy, along with John Kennedy and other Democrats and Republicans, have put forward a bill that we agree on, two parties, two regions of the country, that can go along with what the House of Representatives has passed. All this to say, we're optimistic that we'll have a bill that will be for 5 years with reforms that make the program more affordable for you and me, more accountable to the nation, more sustainable for our nation.
And you say sustainable, absolutely, because all we've seen with the National Flood Insurance Program and what we've seen a lot of in the past couple of months are just really extensions. So this is something that you guys want to do to actually put some longevity and sustainability in this program. Is that right?
Yeah, and so the way we do it is we recognize that if you take care of the homeowner, then you take care of the nation. So if we make more dollars available for a homeowner to elevate her home or to make a community safer, you're going to save dollars ultimately for the nation because there's going to be fewer payouts after a flood. So we go to help the individual family, and in doing so we help our nation as a whole.
And are you optimistic with that moving forward, like the progress of that getting pushed through?
You know, our founding fathers made it difficult to get things through, and they did a very good job. But the way you get things through is you get both chambers, the House and the Senate, and both parties, and then a lot of members of both parties. We've achieved that. And I do think that going forward will also save money for the taxpayers. There's always going to be somebody who objects. We have to address those objections. But I do think we would get 60 votes in the Senate. That's what you need to pass legislation.
And something else that you've been hard at work on, something that you've been passionate about kind of through your tenure there in Congress, has been dealing with price transparency when it comes to medical billing. Lots of folks, obviously everyone is impacted by having to go to the doctor or having to go to the hospital and being slapped with a bill, but you guys are really working hard on price transparency, and something that the House has just done kind of achieves the goal that you have been working on as well.
Yeah, so that's what you're referring to, this aspect of it, because there's multiple aspects of it, is surprise medical billing. You go to the doctor, you go to the hospital, you think the doctor's in network, and then you sign a piece of paper, you're not sure what it means. Turns out you get stuck for a bill that is an out-of-network piece of equipment. You couldn't have known that, but that bill just blows a hole in your family budget. So we have been addressing that as well. And the House of Representatives has passed something on that. We're passing something on that. We think we're going to get to the point where the patient is taken out of the middle, and if the doctors and the hospitals and the insurance companies are unhappy with each other, they go at each other, but they don't go at it through the patient. They don't go at it through you and me. And part of that is to let the patient know on the front end exactly how much it's going to cost. Whatever that is, that's how much it costs, and she doesn't get stuck with something that is a surprise.
It's a busy weekend for you. Obviously, you're here at home today, but you'll be traveling down to the border, McAllen, Texas, over the weekend. What are you hoping to learn, or what are you hoping to see, obviously, as the topic of immigration, another hot topic across the country?
Yeah, clearly our country has got to address the issue of immigration, and I am all about securing the border, but we also want to make sure those folks coming across the border are treated humanely. We've recently voted $4.5 billion to make sure they are. I want to make sure those dollars are being implemented well. I am all for our ICE agents. I've been there before. There'll be some coyote, they call him, a human trafficker, bringing somebody across the border. As our ICE agents come in to capture them, they will toss a baby into the river so that our agents will go after the child to save the child, and then the coyote gets away. So I think our folks do really great things under difficult circumstances, but I'd like to see it for myself once more and to make sure that we're doing everything we can do.
So you're going out there in person. Is that something that you like to share with the community? I don't know if people think that you're just in Washington all the time. You're traveling, you're getting out there and seeing things for yourself.
Yeah, I do a lot better. So, of course, I'm in Baton Rouge, but next week I might be in Shreveport, and the following week I might be in New Orleans. I just do a lot better going to where people live. And for our National Flood Insurance Program, for example, there's going to be people in the state that scratch their face and they say, you know, I talked to the senator about that. Probably they did. Because one thing we do when we travel around and we get ideas is we take those great ideas and we put it into legislation. I like to say we take the wisdom of the folks here in Louisiana, say who've lived through floods, and we put it into legislation that benefits not just us in Louisiana, but benefits the nation. And that's what the experience of our state can do.
Lots that you're dealing with. Thank you so much for joining us this morning to talk all about it. Always great to have you here in the studio with us.
Hey, thank you both.
Safe travels this weekend. And we are going to take a quick break, but on the other side, we're going to take a look at what's happening around the Red Stick this weekend. We'll bring it back.